Hi, welcome back to Family and Fit, where we talk fitness and how to integrate it in your busy lifestyle. So today is going to be poverty meal prep number 3. So as you guys know, we take y'all through the cheapest meals we potentially can with the best macro-friendly, trying to keep things really high in protein because that generally is one of the hardest sources of your macronutrients to get in. And we also try to keep it very simple because, as y'all know, on this channel here, we try to make sure that we keep things as simple and as fast as possible because, you know, most of us work a 9-to-5 job and we have a lot to do. We have kids to take care of. We have, you know, we're working overtime, working 80 hours a week, and there's barely enough time to sleep. You got to find a way to streamline things and just make sure that everything that you do is efficient and the things that you do, especially for fitness, are simple, or else you just may not stick with them. You got to make sure everything you do in fitness is conducive to sustainability. Basically what I'm getting at is you got to make sure everything is simple enough, easy enough, and cheap enough that you can continue to do it, put things on autopilot, and just do it every day and learn to love it and not look at it like it's a job, not look at it like it's work, looking at it like it's something you love to do. Because to be honest, there's not been much more in my life that has changed my life as much as fitness. Like, it's almost as comparable as having kids, just because you just have a different mindset. Everything starts to change for you. Like, there's certain things that I think about nowadays that I may not have ever thought about if I would have never had started fitness. And it's just crazy, and my mind just kind of spins on the fact of like how many things that I've accomplished in my life and how much I think it has been derived from fitness and just overall bringing up my positivity. What, dude? I'm trying to shoot a video. You want to see the camera? Look. But so overall, just trying to get, you know, overall just increasing my positivity and whatnot. So yeah, sorry about the rant. Let's get into this thing. Today's So today's video, we're going to be making turkey loaf. If you had meatloaf, it's very, very similar. We're going to make it as very simple as we can today. I have a longer form video. Hey, dude, what are you doing, dude? Dude, what are you doing, bro? All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what we got here. We just got some ground turkey meat. Unfortunately, this is 85% lean. I always try to go for the 97% lean. The YouTube gods did not want me to make this video because they made sure that my turkey wasn't as lean as it's supposed to be. Like I said, I always use 97% lean. That's what you really want to use. But all the store had was 85% lean. But hey, that's a tip right there for you. If you can't get the 97% lean, make sure you at least get the 85% lean. And if it's not leaner than that, then this meal prep thing is not going to work. So yeah, the next thing that the meal prep gods had out for me is I had to get this ketchup. It's 50% less calories, which is pretty decent. I don't know if you can see on the macro, my camera sucks. It's supposed to be good, but it sucks. Okay, I give up. This is 15 calories per tablespoon. I believe the one that we normally get is like 10 calories per tablespoon. And you're like, what? That's 5 calories, woohoo. Well, it's 32 servings in here, so 5 times 32, you know, you do the math, because, well, I don't want to. No, I'm just kidding, but it's like 150 more calories. So 150 more calories versus getting the Heinz version of this ketchup. This is actually a cheaper route, so get this ketchup if you have to, like if you can't afford the Heinz. But to me personally, the price difference is not that much worse. Now it is quite a bit more expensive than regular ketchup because regular ketchup's like dirt cheap. But like this might be like $3 a bottle or something like that. But the macros on it, you're gonna save a lot of macros. And use this ketchup for everything, not just this meal. A lot of what we're trying to bring is that, like, you know, you gotta use like this type of ketchup versus the other type of ketchup, and you make little changes in life, and then it's almost like you don't even gotta work, you don't even gotta think about things anymore. Like I eat regular stuff and brownies and whatnot, and I really don't even gotta worry about it, but it's because like throughout, I make sure I implement stuff like this in my life. It's just part of my routine. Y'all might have met this guy before. This is my trusty mixing bowl slash pressure cooker. This actually gets a lot of use around here because of its versatility, and it's the biggest bowl I have, and yeah, it works for a great mixing bowl. What do we got here? It's 6 liters is what this is, so that's like what, 14, about 16 cups roughly. So a solid amount, like we could make it an even bigger batch than what we got here. So real simply, I'm just gonna take y'all through it. I'm gonna try to do all this live and not speed it up. Hopefully the video don't end up too long, but I just wanna show y'all how quick and how fast this can be. So I'm gonna try to do this live and as fast as possible. I probably shouldn't be swinging knives around, but oh well. Tommy, you gonna help me, dude? Oh, just a little tip. Make sure the paper don't go in there. I've done that before. Turns out for a very crappy turkey loaf. I ate it anyway, but it wasn't pleasant. And the paper I'm referring to is the paper on the bottom of this thing. Yeah, gross. Next thing we got here. We got bell peppers. And we got onions. These both cost about $1.19. They're Kroger brand. Got them from Rulers. Oh, I'm stepping on kids' food. So we got these from Rulers. It does taste quite a bit better, I think, if you use fresh bell pepper, fresh onions. But for speed's sake, simplicity's sake, and for the value, it's not really too expensive. And you just don't have to go through the work of chopping things up. So if like you're a single male or single mother and you don't got much time, you know what I mean? Like you just gotta do it to it. So I'll quit talking and we'll get this thing done. That way you don't have to watch a 30-minute video like the last one. So in the meantime, while that stuff over there is heating up in the microwave, it's not on defrost or anything like that. I'm just heating it up. Like it's gonna make them even more soggy, and it's not gonna be as good, but it's gonna be even faster. So, like I said, while you're waiting, let's do this. Just put your seasonings in there. Okay. Don't do that. But the thing that's really nice about this is you can use just about any seasoning. A lot of people just use like salt and pepper and stuff. I really love Cajun type of seasoning, so I got like a lot of Cajun. This right here is Louisiana Cajun blackened seasoning, Louisiana brand. But yeah, so you're gonna need a lot of seasoning on this. If it's something that's got sodium in it, be careful, because you can't take the sodium out, unfortunately. They haven't invented that technology yet to this date. But if it's something that don't have much salt in it, you really don't have to worry about it. It's not gonna really mess things up too much. And you can make different styles of this. Like this is so modifiable, because like things that have a lot of protein in them, it's like you modify them by the seasoning and change the flavor of it. Like you can almost make this taste like a spaghetti by adding like some spaghetti sauce to it and putting spaghetti like Italian seasoning and stuff in there and putting spaghetti sauce on top versus using ketchup. And that'll make this completely change the taste of this meal. So it's easy to modify, and you can eat this exact same type of meal and know the macros that you're consuming without making too big of a deal. What are you talking about, dude? And so I will try to use a heck of a lot of seasonings that do not contain salt, just because you can't go wrong with it. It's gonna flavor it, make it taste better, but then also not affect the flavor in a negative way. So I like to use a lot of herb stuff like garlic powder, which you can't put too much garlic powder in, but onion powder and all this stuff you can't put too much in, but it's hard to put too much in if you just put a moderate amount in there. All right, so we got the bell peppers and onions back. They're not completely unfrozen, but they're frozen enough where unfrozen enough where I can break them apart. Dash. Like Mrs. Dash's are good seasonings. They're sodium free, and you can add quite a bit of them. They're kind of expensive too. We also got the Poverty one. So this is a Poverty meal prep. This is the one from Aldi's. I think it's like $1 or something like that. It's a salt-free one as well. I think it's trying to imitate the Mrs. Dash. I'm not positive, but it's what it seems like. Hey, what'd you do with my knife, dude? And so if you go with a super lean one of the lean turkey, a lot of times what I'll add stuff like chia seed. Check out my other turkey loaf video. I have a turkey loaf video that's pretty much making the same meal, but it takes a lot longer because there's a lot more ingredients. I'll generally add like rice to it and a bunch of different ingredients to mix it in. But this one's gonna essentially be meat, and the reason why I'm gonna go this route is because you can add whatever carb you want. And also I got another demonstration of the same thing that's way longer, kind of way more step by step, and like I said, just in depth. Whereas this one right here is gonna be a more macro friendly because I don't have chia seeds and I don't have flax seed in it. Like I mix all those things in there and you just can't even tell it's in there. Good sources of fats and carbs. But like I said, we're gonna make this one as simple as possible. You could even do, like right now, you would just throw in like a scoop of rice in here. But if you do the rice thing, if it's not pre-cooked rice, then you're gonna have to make sure that you, what do you have to make sure you do? Oh, you're gonna have to make sure that you cook it at a way lower temperature for way longer. This right here, probably cook it at about 325 or so, without ketchup at first. And then we'll add ketchup to it. And I'm thinking I'm gonna have to add a little bit of olive oil to this as well. But you know, if you get the super lean turkey, you can add like a tablespoon of butter or olive oil, and you don't really got to worry about that. And the main reason why I'm gonna add it is to stick it, to make this thing stick together. I'd probably actually use butter just for the flavor. I'm not, just because I want to make this as fast as possible. And I mean, it's not a super noticeable difference. I mean, just imagine, you can do this with almost any type of meat, any type of meal, or any type of protein. As long as you get a lean source of protein, you can mix this up, make a meatloaf out of it. It doesn't have to be turkey. Turkey just happens to be one of the cheapest things. Oh my goodness, dude. Turkey just happens to be one of the cheapest and leanest things you can get, like as far as cheap to lean ratio. All right, so we're gonna do the YouTuber thing with the 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh wait, I held it too long. That was like 3 or 4 or 5 calories. That ain't true. It's still calories. Man, don't let them fool you. Still calories. So, and see, here I am trying to go too fast and I'm messing things up. I forgot to add the olive oil, but oh well, it'll be all right. Doesn't really need it. But you want to put a little bit of that, like I just sprayed the butter spray in there. You just need that so that you don't stick on the bottom. Another thing that you can do with this, something I do sometimes, is I'll cut up potatoes and put it around it. If you do that, you got to add a little bit of water, let it cook a little bit longer. Like I said, lower temperature, longer cook. The YouTube gods are getting me again. I own like 5 rectangle glass pans like you just seen, and they're all dirty. So we're gonna use this. It'll work, it'll do the job. But we gotta hit it with that 0 calorie buttery spray. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And I can tell just by looking at this, like I put in quite a bit of seasoning, but it still was not near enough seasoning. Like, if I do a little bit bigger batch of this, like 5 pounds of turkey meat, and then I put all the other rice stuff in here, I will literally put an entire cup of seasoning in it. Just because it's easy for this to taste bland, and it's easy to make this meal not taste good if you don't add stuff like that. If you don't add an abundant amount of seasonings, it'll just taste bland and won't taste good. All right, so I'm gonna season the rest of this with one of them I'm gonna do with kicking chicken. The other one I'm gonna do with this garlic sriracha. Weber's have pretty good seasonings too, by the way. And also be careful with seasonings. because I guarantee you the sriracha one probably has some sugar in it. Boom. All right, so there's the sriracha one. Here's the kickin' chicken one. While we was waiting, I got the oven set to 325 to preheat. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these in there. Like I said, if you add any rice or anything like that to it and mix that in there, you gotta cook it at a lower temperature, like 275, and then cook it for a couple hours. It's something that takes a really long time to cook, but since it's a meal prep thing, it really shouldn't matter. Like if you're doing this on a Sunday to meal prep for the entire week. I actually love this, and I find this one a little bit hard to over consume on just because it's good and it's dense, and the denseness of it means there's a lot of calories per the volume amount. So like I said, a lot of times I'll stretch this out with even more peppers, onions, spinach. I'll put spinach in here sometime, like I'll get frozen spinach and then do the exact same thing I did with the onions and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thrown in the oven real quick, and I'll check back in with you guys after I am completely done with it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out of the oven after I start to see like a brownness on top, throw the ketchup over the top, and then I'm gonna use that whole entire bottle of ketchup, and I'll throw it back in there, wait for it to get a nice like caramelized on the top, and pull them back out, and I'll show them to you guys. All right, y'all, it's done. Got decent color on there. It probably could use a little bit more cook time, but getting tired and not feeling like waiting up any late. It's like 10 o'clock at night, and I got to be up at like 6 in the morning. So yeah, it's looking good. I would go ahead and try it out, but I know it's going to be delicious. Like I said, I'm getting tired. I've been up editing the first half of this video prior to you seeing this here. And yeah, I'm just tired, wore out, ready to crash out and go to sleep. Yeah. Let me know what you liked about this video, what you disliked about this video. If you have any other meal ideas, just put it down in the comments below. And that way I can come up with the meals. And like if you got some type of meal, maybe it's unhealthy, maybe I can find a way to make it healthy, make it more lean, and just come up with a video on that. Or if you just have any other questions or any other video ideas, make sure to put them down in the comments below and hit that subular button so whenever I post that video, you'll get a notification. Well, if you hit the bell thing, then you'll get a notification and you'll get to watch the somewhat awesome video that I put out. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.